thinking back to the 1994-95 season, the first thing come to mind was a special group. A group of guys that came together early in the season, on and off the court, and we built something special throughout the season.
That group was a tournament team, we felt, and that was our goal, to make a tournament, and then we came up short. So then the next goal was, let's win this thing to prove we should have been in, I guess, in some ways, because we felt we were snubbed. But that group was just a really tight-knit group, bunch of good guys that really liked each other, played together, shared the ball, just a team that all the intangibles in that group.
I mean, I would describe the chemistry on and off the court as just like one family. If you saw one of us out anywhere, you would see 4 or 5 of us together. Like, we were always hanging out with each other, and it showed on the court. I don't think anybody probably averaged over 10, 12 shots a game, which means the ball was moving. Everybody was willing to do all the little things, like Jack said, the intangibles. So we just came together as a family and wanted to win.
And piggyback on that, 4 of the players came from Fork Union, so we had already played together for a year. Sean Smith, Shawn Good, myself, and my brothers all played together for a year, so some of that was probably attributed to that as well. But like he said, everybody enjoyed each other's company.
I don't think it was any one guy that set the tone for this group. I think it was the unit itself. We had such a close-knit group that we enjoyed each other, and we was always together. We was always laughing and joking in the locker room, and it showed the way we care for each other on the court. I mean, we had each other back. We was always there. If I'm guarding a guy on the perimeter, if I get blown by, I knew I could count on my teammates to be there. That's how close-knit we were.
I also, to piggyback on that, I also think we were so close that if you weren't playing well, you were willing to call your teammate out. If you weren't giving good effort, everybody felt like they could say something to somebody. You know, hey man, you better pick it up, you're not playing well. And they didn't get hurt, you know, they weren't offended by it. They just trusted that you were telling the truth and like, yeah, you're right, I need to play better. It didn't hurt their feelings.
I would say Coach Foster was a player's coach. I think he played the game, and he allowed us to kind of coach the team as well. We always held each other accountable. He was never a guy that would yell at anybody, never scolded anyone, just kind of treated us almost like sons, really, like kind of took care of us, made sure that we were always taken care of as far as family, as friends. I know he actually drove me to the airport when my mother was sick, so that kind of gave me a special place in my heart for Coach Foster, just the way he treated us all as one of his children.
And I'm sure we all can sit back and reflect on all his one-liners. He had one-liners for days. The man on top of the mountain didn't just land there.
It was a skillful, what did he say about
A
skillful mariner?
No,
a calm sea.
Never made a skillful
mariner, yeah.
The other thing about Coach Foster that I think, we didn't have a lot of bodies that year. A bunch of guys, transfers, 2 guys were injured. We played 7, 8-ish deep. And I remember one practice, we all looked beat up, and he just said, hey man, shoot 50 free throws and get out of here.
Yeah.
He was really smart about taking care of our bodies and not killing us in practice. So.
And we practiced like an hour and a half,
Yeah,
an hour 15
in
in and out. Yeah, just get our stuff done.
Get the essentials and get out.
Another one he said too, when life hands you lemons, make lemonade. I still remember all those little
Mental
one-liners.
is defeat plus 3 is to 1.
Yeah.
I mean, it was early in the season. We felt we had something special. I mean, we was beating each other up in practice, competing against each other in practice. But then when the games came in Puerto Rico, we saw what we had did in practice against someone else, and we felt that we could have a great season. I mean, we had so many highs and lows that year. I mean, it's funny. I mean, I remember when we would sit together, we was 20-10 at the moment. Mm-hmm. At the end of the season, we was looking at the NCAA brackets being the selection Sunday, and we didn't hear Virginia Tech being called, and we took that personal. I mean, that was one of the low points of our season. Mm-hmm. And when we decided to come together and become the 65th Best team in the country that year. That was our motto. Let's be the 65th best team.
We never panicked. You know, you just come to timeout, everybody would calm down and just get to the next play, get to the next set. I felt like that team, anybody that was hot during the game, playing really well, hey, keep going to Damon, they can't guard him, and you didn't mind. And then finally Damon would say, hey man, I'm gassed, somebody else get it. You didn't take it personal with who was scoring. We were just trying to win the games. It didn't matter who was scoring, just let's win the game. And I just feel like that group had really good knowledge of that. Like whoever was playing really well or what play was working, we just kept running it till they stopped it.
And I think like we would have a different leading scorer in every NIT game. I don't think we had the same leading scorer for, was it 5 games?
5 games.
5 games. I think we had a different leading scorer for every game. Maybe somebody doubled up, but it was really a group that kind of just played to win. We didn't care who got the glory.
And then I also think when we played against Clemson the first game here in Castle Coliseum, the atmosphere was great. The energy amongst the team was awesome. And we was confident in every game we played. We felt like when that ball went up, we had an opportunity to win. And we felt that we were going to win. And I mean, some of the moments, I think back to when we played New Mexico State and they had a bad scouting report. They closed out on me for a 3, and I made the extra pass to Travis Jackson. T-Jack in the corner, and he hit that big 3 against New Mexico State to put us over the top. But I mean, it was a fun run. Those 5 games in NIT was, I mean, I don't know it was pressure. Outside of Smitty shooting those free throws in Madison Square Garden, it wasn't pressure for us.
Yeah, it was just fun. It was
extending our season.
Yeah.
The atmosphere was fun. It was just, to me, it felt probably like an NCAA atmosphere. And just the other thing about New York, I really remember, we got to see Jordan play after he came back. That was a big deal. And all of us, not all of us, but me in particular, we could have sold our tickets for like a lot of money. And you were tempted to take that deal and get the money, but you didn't want to get in trouble. And I hadn't seen Jordan play live ever, so that was the first time I got to see him play, and I think he dropped 55.
Double nickel.
He had 55 points against the Knicks, and it was one of them just in awe of his talent. So when they say LeBron's the GOAT, I laugh.
I mean, it was a great atmosphere. Just playing in Madison Square Garden, a place that you grew up watching the New York Knicks play. When we first had our first shoot around, just taking the elevator up to the 5th floor, to the game floor, and going out on the court and competing with these guys. I mean, we was in the Final Four of the NIT Championship, and we was like, we didn't come here just to compete. We came to win. That was our mindset when we boarded the plane to go to New York, and all the way until Shawn got to the free throw line. I mean, there was no doubt in our mind that we was going to win it. And I'm glad it was Shawn at the free throw line with 0.7 seconds instead of me, because the outcome might be a little different, and we might not be sitting here today.
It probably would have been the same. The thing I remember is the circus was in town. So when we got in the building, it smelled like it was awful. Then because we rode the service elevator up, and they had elephants and all kind of lions and stuff in there. It was just a unique atmosphere. Probably the most famous arena we've all ever played in. Maybe not you, because you got to play in the NBA.
And Coach Keener said something when he said there's only 4 teams still playing, and you're 2 of the 4, because we were in the championship game, and then there was also the NCAA championship side. So that was kind of cool to hear him say that. I didn't think of that. We were still. That's the whole goal was like, hey, can we get one more game with this group? Like, let's win the next game so we can get one more game. And that was interesting when he said that. I'd never thought of that.
And I also remember that year. Remember Coach Keener gave us the rubber bands.
Was it the rubber bands that
rubber
year?
bands, and he gave the analogy of holding one rubber band. If you had one rubber band and he stood in front of the team and he popped the rubber band, and he said that's what individuals look like. But when you got a team, a group of rubber bands, and then he tried to have one of the guys pull the rubber band and rip the rubber band, it wouldn't break. And we wore that rubber band
For every game.
for every game. And it was one of those things like, yo, hey, hold on to the rubber band because we're a unit. We all are one.
And if you feel like things aren't going well, you're supposed to pop
Yeah,
that
that's what I
rubber
would do.
band.
When I was
You're
playing
supposed
well,
to
I'd snap it.
snap
you
the
know?
rubber band. Remember that we're all in this together. So it was just a unique thing. And I think Coach Keener had a couple of things that he did for us to kind of motivate us during the season.
He was the guy everybody kind of went to talk to.
Yeah.
He was definitely a player's coach. As an assistant, you always felt comfortable going to him to, I don't know, if your personal life was messed up or you had a question or concern or you were not playing well, he was always one to make you feel better and help you, with your confidence. And I remember when Smitty got fouled, I said, nobody talked to him. Just let him be, like just let him be to himself. Don't say anything too much to him. Just let him be in his own mind, I guess. But it was such a blur.
Shawn got fouled by Faisal Abraham, which was an AAU teammate of mine with Boo Williams. So when he got fouled, the first thing I did was look up at the clock, and it was 0.7 seconds. And then they called timeout, and we went to the sideline, and Shawn sit down by himself.
Yeah,
And he grabbed a towel, and he was playing with the towel. And I kept glancing down at him, and I was like, man, boy, he got a lot of pressure on him right now. But I had confidence that he was going to knock those free throws down. I mean, he always stepped up in big moments like that. I mean, that's what he did.
I mean, once the game was over, Smitty hits the free throws, everybody just rushed Smitty. Like, we weren't thinking about anything except, like, running to Smitty, and everybody hugged him. I don't know that it really set in that we were the NIT champions until after all that settled down. Like Dave said, it was a blur. Like, just the whole 2 games there. Like, it was just a unique situation.
Once it was over, there was a sense of pride that we had gone to a school, and I always tell people this when they ask about that team. It was a bunch of under-recruited overachievers type kids that wanted to play probably a little bit higher, thought they were better, but you end up where you end up. And then we wanted to make Virginia Tech relevant again, and our goal was to do that and win games, and that was one step in the right direction, because the next year we had everybody back, and I think at one point we ranked 8th in the country and lost to Kentucky in the second round of the NCAA tournament. So there was a sense of pride for me. I remember sitting on the bus and I was like, wow, we just won a championship, and that's a big deal. When you're doing, not a lot of people win championships. I'd work camps every summer, talk to other players, and man, they were talking about their season and how bad it was, and you just have to be grateful that I'm always grateful when I talk about this team, that it was just a great group of guys, and I was so blessed, because I talked to other players and they hated their teammates. They didn't have the experience I had, and that's what makes me love this place, and I've been blessed to work here for as long as I have. I love the community and what Virginia Tech, the Hokie Nation, stands for.
Winning is hard. And when we won that championship, that was the first time I had ever won a championship in my life. And when we were celebrating, and everyone in the middle of the court, we was jumping around, and for me, it was a moment of, I am a winner. I am a champion. And it resonated with me for the rest of my life. Every time I won, I always reflected back at the NIT, the first championship. And I wanted to continue to build championships throughout my life and try to be a winner in everything that I've done. But that set the tone for me that night when we beat Marquette in the NIT Championship.
Kind of what we just said, you're part of a select group. I just always feel like that team could play against almost anybody. We just had such a good group of togetherness and making the extra pass, and just like he said, the stat sheet, when somebody would talk about the game, whoever we're getting ready to play, the scoring was so spread out, it was hard to just zone in on one guy. One guy wasn't going to beat you. That team beat you. Because if this guy wasn't doing it, somebody else would step up and get it done, a different guy every night. So I'm just proud to be a part of something that, when we walk around, somebody will say, hey man, like, I really love that team you played on. I take pride in that. Like, they enjoyed watching us play, and that means we did something positive while we were here. And that's what people come to the games to watch, good basketball, and I felt like they were watching good basketball back then.
And for me, that team, to piggyback off what you said too as well, everybody always says, we enjoyed watching you guys play. Mm-hmm. It wasn't about individuals, it wasn't about stats, it wasn't about anything but that unit, the way we care for each other on the court. it showed that we cared for each other off the court as well. I mean, even today, this team is so close. When I first started the group chat and the text with the entire team on it, everybody was responding. Everybody was anxious to get back to Blacksburg because, I mean, the slogan, "This is home." Once you're a Hokie, you're always a Hokie. And we are connected for life.
I think of Coach Keener. I still remember this. We were riding on a bus. Remember, we got a police escort to go back, which I thought was hilarious. I was thinking I was on a Chips episode. Nobody's gonna remember Chips, but it was a TV show back in the 70s and 80s. But anyway, he said, "Man, you know, like in 20 or 30 years, they're gonna honor this team, and you guys are gonna get to come back and spend more time together." And I just thought, wow, he's right. And I can't believe how fast it's been. Like, time just goes quick as you get older, but to be able to see the team again is pretty neat. It's going to be a neat experience to say hi to everybody and just catch up. Because life gets in the way. You have kids, you move away. It's really hard to get everybody together, but this is something that's tied us together, and the issues being forced, kind of like everybody needs to come back for this. So it'll be really neat.
But even with that, I think we still communicate with the guys on that team outside of this reunion. Myron, Troy Mans, Keith Matthews. Like, we still talk to guys, Damon Wallington, that are either in the area or outside the area. That just goes to show how much it meant to us back then. I think if it wasn't such a great atmosphere while we were here, like, I wouldn't be here right now, right? Like, because we wouldn't win. We wouldn't have been a family. We would be all separate, going our own way. So it's just kind of a unique situation.
I'm excited to see everyone. I mean, I've been looking forward to this ever since they put it together. The last time we were together was 2002 at my wedding.
Yeah.
You guys got a little bit more gray hair now. A lot of time has passed. It don't seem like 30 years that we won, but I mean, here we are. And I remember after my wedding, after the reception, I asked Didi, I was like, "What are we gonna do now?" And she was like, when is the next time you guys gonna be together?" She said, "You should go out with your team tonight." And we all went out that night, and we hung out that night in Hampton and had a great time. And that was the last time we were together. So now we're back amongst each other, sharing some stories and enjoying the evening. And I mean, it's great just to see everyone.
I think one of the things I really like for my kids and like kids in general, basketball, sports, athletics, it's a relationship builder, and like some of the best friends you'll have in your life you play with or you meet through athletics. And I just think this was one of those really special groups and special moments that happened that just really tied us all together for the rest of our lives.